Welcome to the Friday Underground stream. You're going to have a great time, a glorious time. True story, plenty of laughs, some black pill moments. It's a fun balance of serious topics and insanely funny stuff. Really wonderful people on this panel. Enjoy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Friday Underground stream. Yeah, we're going to be hitting Shogun episode 7. Pretty good stuff that happened, and then
Vinny, we had to talk about this. We said you're not supposed to be hitting anything anymore. You're supposed to be a good boy.
Tommy, let me finish the intro, please. So yeah, we're going to be covering that episode 7. The ending was kind of hilarious. Chris and I thoroughly enjoyed that, of the stupidity of a certain character. But yeah, and we're going to be talking about the Diddy situation and, well, how much he's been exposed by a whole slew of new people. Not only him, but allegedly Ashton Kutcher and Rick Ross and DJ Khaled. So
I can tell you something in particular about all of them. Much like me, they're wieners, and they like them too.
Tommy, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing all right. I'm a good boy. How you doing, Vinny?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there. You know, it's a struggle every day with my friends, but you know, we manage. We do what we could here. I'm getting it on stream, and I'm getting it from the panel as well.
Well, as long as you don't have any more heads in your freezer like you did that one week, I think everything's going to be fine, Vinny.
Listen, I got a collection at this point. Allegedly, no. These are jokes, YouTube. Don't cancel anybody, please. Speaking of cancel, have you heard some of the ridiculousness and the retardation of certain YouTubers who they've attacked people left, right, and center, and then they crying that they're getting canceled out of conventions and stuff? Like, to me, it's hilarious. Like, they're literally part of cancel culture, and now they're crying. I found out one of them claimed to be black, who's clearly white.
They know nothing about being black.
Yeah,
but we know everything about it. They're frauds. Don't listen to them. Listen to a true black pig. I know the struggles.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude! It's to me, it's too hilarious, the stupidity from so many of these people. But I don't know. What do they say again? You get what you deserve. Well, because that's what it seems like these people are getting. They tried to hurt so many others. There's someone who took their own life recently, and I know they had a hand in it. We've seen it in passing. And again, I don't even follow their streams, and that stuff came up. So whatever happened, they did it to themselves.
I read the dude's exit note, and what sucks is that the dude explicitly called, like, he named names. Like, it was like, hey, this is what happened. These are the people that are reveling in my misery, canceling me, and yeah, they're bullies. I was offed by bullies.
Yep.
And what I found
wasn't it?
Well, we live in a sick society, dude. Like, it was the bullies, but it was also the crowd that cheered on the bullies.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of, like, we can name, like, here's the thing is, like, names were named. Those should be the first people that we look at, and then whatever ancillary stuff comes afterwards. But it just sucks that after that dude, deleted, the person that he named literally made a post like, why something like, God, why are people posting about, like, dead predators? Like, shouldn't we be caring more about, like, the survivors?
Jesus.
I couldn't agree anymore with Chris. We should worry about the survivors. I'm a survivor of a horrible incident, and we should be focusing on me from now on. You took your shot. I'm taking mine.
Holy! It wasn't Alec Baldwin. It was Daniel Baldwin. It was Tucker Carlson, and definitely Trump. It was Trump. Brutal. How you doing, buddy?
Oh yeah, sorry I'm late. I was building my earthquake bunker.
Yeah.
I
was gonna mention that. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, Lizzo was in town and she slipped.
Yeah. It was pretty. Actually, you know what?
4.8.
It was pretty ridiculous because it woke me up this morning, right? And so I woke up and it just sounded like my nephew coming down the stairs, but it was the same bumpity bumps. But I was like, he should be down the stairs by now. Like it sounded like he ran up and down the stairs 4 or 5 times. I was like, why is he doing that?
Or he's dragging a bunch of bodies that were roped together.
Right. Something like that. You know, it's the same noises when my nephew comes down the stairs, but it was just like 4 times longer.
Where was it? Where was the epicenter?
They said there was a spot in Jersey? But then because of the fault line, they said they felt it all the way up into Albany.
Yeah.
They said that's over 100 miles.
Yeah, I was just looking on Twitter and people are like, wow, you know, I just got hit by an earthquake and did anybody else feel that? And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
So, it must be like Jersey, New York, like the tri. Yeah.
But I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad.
Man,
you're doing all right. I know you got excited, but don't worry.
I was.
Yeah. Some say
like,
the end is near.
This is finally the end. It's happening. This is not a drill, you know. But like,
to surrender.
Yeah. We got Tony's in the chat. He says hashtag Albany is trans. Okay. How many Olympic events did they win? We're still saying hello to everybody, but we got the legend Chris Fisk in the house as well. How you doing, buddy?
Apparently better than the earthquake people. Wow. Yeah, man.
I told you, someone put a banana on the stage, and it
was Lizzo.
Yeah, it fell out of one of her dancers, and then she stepped on it. She slipped, and 4.8. Boom. Tri-state area.
Dude, when I lived in California, I got hit by 3 different earthquakes. And it's weird because there's like flavors to the earthquakes. It's not just like magnitude. Yeah. Like one earthquake, I was in the penthouse of like a 14, 15 story building, and I felt like a cat in a dryer. Like I'm at my desk, and the wheelchair of my desk, I like got flung away from the desk, and I was like, like holding on to things. There was that one. That was like
on his chair.
Yeah. That was the 6 point whatever. Then another one. I was just sitting, like lying on my couch, and all of a sudden, boom! Like there was just this really like abrupt, violent, just boom, like a vehicle hit the building or something, and then that was it. It was just like one, and then I actually prefer those 2 to the next one because the next one had me sick for about 3 days, and that was the slow rocking that lasted for like hour, like for an hour straight. It was just it got gradually worse. Yeah, it was like being on a ship. It got gradually worse. And the only reason I knew it wasn't me that was feeling this, and it was like legitimately happening, is because I was looking at my pictures on the walls and they were starting to like rock back and forth.
Oh my God.
Well, now that's 4.8 is rookie numbers. I want to see 8.4 next time.
Well, I'm all set with those guys.
Listen, if you get Lizzo on a trampoline, you'll get it.
Oh man.
But let me say hello. We got super fan Adam Shawhan in the house as well. Hey, buddy.
What's up, man? There you go. Why don't you share that one? That'll answer what you were just saying. That's proof it happened. Just say it. Just say it.
Where do we go?
Oh,
private. In the private.
Hold on a second. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. At least we're doing better than brutal. You know, that's all I can say. You know?
Yeah.
Or Camp Morning Woods under. You know, it's shaking, it's baking, it's rocking, it's socking.
Because it's just really hard to do better than me. Wow. You know, that's a low bar. You know.
No. The earthquakes. Look, we found out what was causing them right here. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Holy
that'll
shit.
do it.
So fat, huge. Ginormous.
Huge.
Yeah, we're gonna be playing some presidential insults later / comedy. I think you guys will enjoy it. Both of them, they got some from both Brandon and from Trump. So
Yeah.
always great.
I'm doing good. Thank you for doing this, Vinny. It's always fun to hang out with all of you here and have a blast as always.
Oh, for sure, man. Dude, it's always a blast here. So let me say hello to the fans out there, all the great people we got in chat, our friends, super fan, first one in tonight, Iceman Modeler. What's up, buddy? Tina Boja, she can't make it on tonight, but saying hello. Same with Trina. She's also saying hello. She can't make it tonight. What else we got? Let me scroll down a little bit more. Monotony in the house. Oh, man, his comment got erased. What the hell happened?
That's YouTube. That's YouTube. And you know what? I like, real quick, let me hit on that. So seeing that some of these bigger YouTubers are suffering the same wrath that all the smaller YouTubers have been suffering for years with the bullshit with YouTube. You know what? Welcome belatedly to the club, some bitches.
Oh, yeah. We'll get more into that in a sec, too. Godzillionaire, how you doing, man? Max time. Yeah, this is true. Yes. Allegedly. Manliness and motivations in the house, too. He said, yeah, like Diddy's cellmate, I will be in and out. Got to do stuff around the house. Yes, and we're going to be showing a clip of that, too. Allegedly, one of Diddy's alleged hitmen and what he had to say, which I thought was pretty damn funny. So, yeah, Papa Cotton's in the house as well. How you doing, Papa? Always great seeing you. Decepticon, how you doing, man? He's at work right now. All right, cool. Brutal saying hi to the folks, letting people know what was going on too. Dark Side, Marinus, I think I sent you a link. I should have sent you one. Let me double check. Yeah, I sent you one. So if you're free and you want to pop in, you are more than welcome to, buddy. Yeah, because we're going to be hitting some topics today, as always. The kind of current events, but we're gonna get into Shogun too. Because again, I know right now some of us have been watching it, and I think it's one of the better programs on TV right now. Story-wise, acting, artistry as well. That is a beautifully shot show. Into that stuff. Yeah, we're really great. So screen real quick, and we'll start getting into these topics. Yeah, as you can see, we got some hot topics for sure, including and Ashley and her diary. What's going on with that? The person who they claim stole it, which she didn't. She found it and reported it, and they want her to serve. So yeah, they want her to be in jail for at least 6 months to a year. Some are saying up to 3 years.
So wait a minute. If it's fake, why should anybody serve time over a fake diary?
Yeah,
right. And they, from what I understand, Project Veritas proved that it's real. Because they have Ashley on a phone call admitting to that's her property, including a bunch of other things that were still left in that house. And yeah, she confirmed that diary's hers, and she threatened Secret Service on this woman, on the guy. I'm sorry, who has all that. The woman who found it had given it to them.
Well, did you see the newest spin by the lefty weirdos? So everybody by now that's been on freaking Twitter has probably seen that jackass Krasenstein.
Yeah.
Did you see the spin that son of a bitch tried to put on it? Oh, doctors say it's normal for fathers to shower with the.
Wait. That's the topic for the second half of the show, because we're really going to go into that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. I'm trying to refrain from certain words right now.
Well, I didn't say anything too how can we say controversial, even for YouTube.
Yeah,
I mean it's even bad for guinea pigs. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
It's bad for a lot of people, including Rick Ross and P. Diddy. Ashley
I thought that was Mark Henry giving him a kiss.
Yeah, well, this guy's a little bit thinner than Mark Henry. But first, we want to get to Shogun. Because holy crap, that's been really good. Yeah. I thought this episode, how it started, I thought it was going to be a weaker one, but it picked up in a good way.
Oh yeah,
and yeah, there was a really good twist in it as well. So Chris, I don't know if you want to start off with that one, get into Shogun a bit.
Well, I like the fact that they showed a flashback to a young Toriyama.
Yeah,
and the kid was basically a prodigy. I mean, he was. Basically saw combat on the battlefield as what, a 12-year-old or whatever. And when he led his I don't know if he was the general or if it was his dad's army or what, but essentially he's presented to the defeated enemy general, and the enemy general had enough. Like, it was weird seeing that level of respect between enemies, because in this day and age, everybody's just like throwing bitch fits. Yeah. So he admitted defeat, and he's like, I'm going to go commit seppuku, where they disembowel themselves ritualistically. But before they do that, they have something called their second, which is somebody that stands behind the person who commits seppuku. And just as they're disemboweling themselves to ensure that they don't suffer agony, they take their sword and slice their head off. Yeah, and this guy did it. And this 12-year-old did it in one fell, just shook.
Yeah, that's the legend that's behind it. And it's funny because then in the episode you find out a little bit more of kind of what happened. In reality,
14, 15. Yeah.
It was hilarious. Because all right, so in this episode, basically, he needs help because they had a giant earthquake and mudslide
took out their army.
Took out a good chunk of their army, so they needed help because they wanted to do Crimson Sky, and they're his big battle plan, and there's only one way of doing it, and he doesn't have the men, to do this, so he went to his half brother and wanted his army. And he hasn't talked to him in a long time, and it kind of sets up where you see all of them come in, to their place, and they meet them, and it's this slight tension, and then the kind of classic, oh no, yeah, we're good, we're cool, yeah, let's get drunk, and we're gonna have a good time, and we're gonna take off, we're gonna kill the enemies, and blah blah blah. We'll have bloodshed together. So at night, after they went to the hot springs, and everyone got all re-energized and everything, they're sitting there and they're telling stories and laughing like a family would when you haven't seen people in forever. And his brother, his half brother, gives him like a really nasty insult, and says that he was there when this happened, and the stories behind it. He was 12. He didn't want to go in the battlefield. And he shit his pants on the horse. Shit his pants. Yeah,
it was so bad for that horse.
Yeah. Well, it was that whole thing of like insulting him, and then everyone stopped laughing. And in the middle of that,
on a dime.
Yeah, on a dime. Yeah, because they were getting on great, and then you could tell like, oh shit, he made a play.
Betrayal.
And then basically him and his men, they sealed off every exit on their village in their town, and he said that there was a better deal that he got from the other guys, and he was going to bring his brother in.
And it's funny because after the whole hospitality thing, it really shows how having friends in low places is a very useful thing to have.
Yeah,
because they call it the Willow World, which is just poetic for it's a whorehouse. So Toriyama's basically allied with this whorehouse, and the whorehouse madam, who I believe was Chiyomi Mochizuki in the real history, where she actually trains her horse to become assassins. I don't know if that's what they're going to bring into this story, but this is historical fiction based off of the real events of the Sengoku era. So we might start seeing basically female ninja, which is going to be freaking badass. They kind of set something up, and that worthless freaking son, the one that was basically after the brother, made his revelation that he's actually not on his half brother's side, and he's going to turn in Toriyama and all of his men. And he issued hey, your shitbag son who used these cannons against our messenger and turned him into hamburger helper. Yeah, we're going to order him to commit ritual suicide, the thing that I had described earlier, seppuku. And, they're like, oh, well, we can't do that. We got to set up something. And the setup was probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Well, before we say that, before we get into that. Yeah, because there's another part that happened too. Yeah, Adam, you're all caught up, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, my part was the bit where he told him when they were in the springs. How the both the younger nephews or whatever, where he's telling them, those that haven't seen battle, they're wanting to see, and you're going to get your ass killed before you even, get your dick wet, basically.
Yep.
Yeah. That was just like, wow. And I know where you're stopping me. Oh yeah, man. I was all caught up. Like, I've been waiting for this one because the last episode took a minute to get into, but those 2 episodes, last week's and this one, go together really well, I felt. And then on to your point, Chris, with the I was feeling that too with the is she going to train him? Has she already trained them? Is that where it's going? So back to you.
But you're right. And that moment was great too with Toranaga's son, where he's in the hospital with his buddy, and as they're talking shit. And his uncle, like, he shows up behind them, and they're talking about this greatness that the kid wanted to have. And he's like, you'll probably die alone in the woods or something, and be forgotten before you're even talked about in the first place.
Yep.
Like he really kind of like shits on him. So later in the episode too. So his father basically, he says he's going to surrender. He was given an option. It's like, either you're going to surrender or we're going to, basically, take you back in pieces essentially. So,
kill you in the woods.
Yeah. So he decides, like, he has all of his men on the field. They have all the things set up. And so his brother comes over and he's like, so what did you decide? And Toranaga's like, I'm going to surrender. And all of his men are shocked. All of them. They're like, what are you doing? The English dude, he gets up and he's like, wow, the great genius, the Toranaga, the prodigy. He just surrenders. And he's going to have all of his men killed. And then he says it in Japanese, you're all going to die. And he walks off into the distance. He's like, you guys are all retarded.
It's like, screw this. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other ones were all pissed off. But right before they came, I forgot to say, the older dude who was friends with Toranaga, and he's like his second in command, basically. He was saying to him, he's like, you remember that day when I had to make my first kill? When I had my big first victory on the battlefield? He's like, yeah. He goes, and who in the hell would send a 12-year-old to help him with seppuku to finish the job like that? And he goes, He goes, it took you what, 12, 13 swipes to take his head off? It was supposed to be one clean.
Like
that was awesome.
When you're in Kenjutsu, which is kind of the real practice of swordplay in Japanese, not Kendo, which is the sport. In Kenjutsu, like you have these tatame, these rice mats that they roll up and then they stack, vertically, and you're basically judged by your expertise and skill in swordsmanship by how many of those tatame mats you can cleanly cut, and they'll judge by like how frayed the cut is. So they're like, okay, this was a dirty cut or whatever, and they'll actually when the swordsmiths are testing their swords, they'll do that on human cadavers or condemned prisoners, and they'll actually put the number of corpses they can cut through in one swing in the hilt. Like there'll be a number built in the tang.
And then Doug what's his name? Markai? Was that his name? No, Doug. The one from Forge and Fire.
Forge and Fire, watch that a lot.
It will kill.
It will kill,
But
they
like
roll
an unskilled,
like that, right? Yeah, I saw it. Sorry.
Yeah, if you're unskilled, dude, and I've done this because I have a few katana, and like
Doug Markai,
you're unskilled. Not to the people, but to the tatame mats. Like it's a lot harder than it looks. Like you can't just grab the sword. It's not like a lightsaber, like in Star Wars. Like it just cuts. Like you got to know how to position the blade and how to put all your weight into the swing and stuff.
Yep.
And it's embarrassing when I first did it, and like I didn't even cut through one.
Holy crap. Wow. Well, there's a moment in this episode too where he's on the beach. He's got his blades, and Mariko, her husband, is furious, and he sees the one dude that he fell on the mountain in like the first episode. He survived a bunch of times. He's Toranaga's friend. We didn't know if he was playing both sides at one point, but he's clearly with Toranaga. He wants to see his skills, and since they still can't communicate properly, the British dude, he didn't know what was going on. He's like, oh, okay. he started to understand, and the guy basically he took his sword out of his hand within a second, with not even 2 moves.
Yep.
And knocked him on his ass. So he's laughing, and so the English guy's like, yeah, funny, haha. He starts to laugh too, and then the guy gets pissed at him, like, what are you laughing at? Grab your, and he's like telling him to grab his sword again, and that's when the husband comes over and he gets the blade to his throat, and he's like, he's losing it because the other idiot of Toranaga's son, his friend. He got jealous because the English dude was with the whore he wanted to be with.
Yeah,
he was giving the gift. Yeah,
freaking simp.
yeah, and this guy was simping for a whore basically, and he tried to put poison into Mariko's husband in his ear, and about the the barbarian, the Anji. But yeah, it was great. He stopped himself, and then later he embarrassed the shit out of himself as well.
When he tried to use the katana as a rapier, oh my god, I lost.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that was funny because he's like, yeah,
I was thinking of you guys, and all I could think of is I can't wait till Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, when he was told to draw his sword, he one-handed, and the guy's like, 2 hands, 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a sailor. I am not. I'm not a warrior. I'm not a swordsman. I know how to do naval battles. This is ridiculous.
Why am I talking to you? It's like pissing in the wind.
Yeah.
That was great. But yeah, again, this is a fantastic show. Yeah, Marinus, if you haven't seen it yet, we do suggest it. The first episode might be a little tough to get into, but once you start to see kind of what's going on, because the first one, again, it introduces the characters and sets up that world, because there is some complicated stuff in there, and some of the names as well.
If you can't enjoy the pirate stew, I'm just going to say that you're not going
to. The pirate stew.
Yeah. The pirate stew. When it happens, you'll know what I'm talking about. Thank you later.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It is.
Yeah,
I came into this totally not seeing the previous stuff, because you said there was another series, correct, Chris?
Yeah. There was the original one, in 1980, and it had God. Why do I keep forgetting his name? Like some famous British actor or whatever. And it's funny because the character that was Blackthorn in the 80s version had a very posh, very received pronunciation accent, whereas the one in this modern remake is more like a Tom Hardy, like gutter, Richard Chamberlain. Thanks,
Richard Chamberlain. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I've never seen that one. I've only heard you talk about it. But I mean, like, I'm coming into this just having seen just samurai movies and stuff in that the old black and whites and stuff that we all grew up with.
Oh,
but man, like watching this, watching this, it was fun. So like, I right from the get go, I'm like, all right, pirate ship, all right, he just shot himself, all right. We're seeing it through the eyes of, if I were on the ship and I was just kidnapped by these people, what would I, man, yeah, that's so I've been in it. The only issue I had is, like I said, even though they do have the dub, they still speak in foreign language with writing when they could just do it all in English. You know what I mean? That's like my only. Luckily, I only have to kick on where it talks and tells me what it says a couple times throughout the episode. Mm-hmm. But I just wish it was all in English. Yeah, you go ahead and do the move, the old school where we had it with the English stuff going over them and their lips are still moving, or they stop as the guy's still talking. How are you?
Dude,
my thing is,
it's been great.
Oh yeah, no complaints though. That's just visually impaired. My visually impaired complaint. Dude, I've enjoyed all of it. I thought it's been great. Thanks to you guys. Sorry, Tommy, you didn't like it, but yeah, it's been. I think the pig's just doing the corner.
Well, that's all right. Yeah, I mean,
pig in the corner.
Yeah,
I just kept waiting for the Disney Disney shoe to drop. I'm like, okay, let me guess, Mariko, because like they show her practicing with a naginata, which a lot of the maiden shrines or shrine maidens did. The Mako, that's what women did to protect the homestead when their husbands were away. They had to basically be the guy, the chick with the gun, essentially.
Yeah, but this is not a Disney production. This was FX. Yeah, they own them and everything, but shit was in the works. And again, the people that are involved are most of the Japanese people.
That's what
making sure that it's accurate.
that's what gives me hope. And if Sanada here, Sanada-sama,
Yep.
is the one that is steering this ship, because I know he's like an
he is.
executive producer and stuff.
Yep.
If they start tackling some of the Akira Kurosawa films and they want to do remakes of those, I will be on board if this guy's at the helm.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because this Shogun series is, I love it. Like, it's been a long time where I'm like, there's no woke trash. There's no, hey, look, we put black people in it. You know, like, even though we've heard already, people are already saying, yeah, we got to blackify this. Where the black people at? It's like, dude, it's Japan. It's like medieval Japan. There are no black people here. What about that one guy? Yeah, that one guy.
Yeah. Sorry, Afro Samurai doesn't count, yo. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
So
right.
there's no Viola Davis in samurai garb.
No.
Yeah, there's no. What was that Viking? Remember the Viking Ragnarok or Viking Valhalla show?
Yeah, I never even watched that.
I saw that and I'm like, I'm done. Like, I'm out.
Yeah, I was gonna finish the main series of Vikings. I think I was on the last season and a half. Because I loved it. The Viking show that was on History Channel was amazing. Then I heard they did the spinoff or something, and I think they put it on Netflix, and it just went down the shitter. They said everything was terrible. But Adega's seen it too. Yeah, best show he's seen in a while.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they've been tackling it in a really good way. But yeah, again, in the end of this episode, holy shit, that was hilarious. Because you could tell, Toranaga, he had a plan. Because he had words with the madam who runs the brothel, and it was funny because they were done with their conversation, and right when she was supposed to leave, she didn't. She said a couple more things, and he stopped in his tracks. Like, she goes, kind of like in a way of like, I know what you're doing. This stuff where, it's interesting to see like that you're about to give up. Someone who is on the winning side, someone who is such an intelligent person and very cunning, and you're just giving up like this. And like, she kind of led into what was going to happen, and by the end of the episode, she had a plan, and she steps out, and the assassins were supposed to come in, and the moron of Toranaga's son comes in with his men instead. And this guy's running, his uncle's running half naked in his robe, partially dressed. He falls into the water outside. It's raining like crazy, and he's all content. The nephew, he's ready to swipe down on him, and he slips on his robe, and his nephew
rock.
The back of his head smashes into a rock, and there's blood everywhere, and he's twitching as his uncle stands up now from being shitting his pants to
laughing.
Like, yeah, this is the glorious death that you're going to be remembered. And he's like, like laughing in his face, basically.
I mean, what? This is the best you got. You done slipped on wet rock road. I mean, it's wet, man. It's wet. He did not have his footing. Let's just say his feet were not underneath him. He was
UFA and UFO.
Well, if it's any consolation, when I was doing research for the Assassin's Creed stuff, we were learning about some of the prominent samurai, some of the prominent ninja and stuff. And like in Kill Bill, they talk about Hattori Hanzo or Hanzo Hattori. So Hattori Hanzo was one of Ieyasu Tokugawa or Toranaga in this context. He was one of his samurai, but he's also a badass ninja. And he died as well. He got a spear up his asshole while taking a dump.
Oh, jeez.
Talk about coming and going at the same time.
That's a terrible way to go.
Yeah,
well,
so
undignified death. You must have been happy at that one.
Yeah, well, a ninja had hidden in the garderobe or whatever, basically the medieval toilet, and the guy's dropping a deuce, and all of a sudden, and it was shish kebab. They're like, "Hey, it's taking a long time in there." And then they found him in there, and it was like Cannibal Holocaust with a spear out his mouth. And they're like, I guess that's how he went. So Tommy, undignified deaths.
Tommy, right? Maybe that's how we could start it with,
We're on YouTube. Impaling.
Tommy, he's an advocate for the Vlad the Impaling.
Yeah, Vlad them all, every last one of them.
I just hope it wasn't like a porta potty, because there's only one way in or out, so that would mean you'd have to and then you'd be stuck there in the shit with the dead corpse. I mean, you're fucked.
Go away! There's hiding space.
And that's it. Imagine the dedication and patience you have to just like wait around in the poop puddle until somebody sits down.
Vinny, that was just proof that you can actually chat from there. So.
Oh yeah!
Well,
oh, that's
yeah.
awesome, dude.
Dog
yeah,
Brutal.
Thank you for the people who are watching over on Twitter. And and thanks, Tommy, for.
Well, Brutal, think of it this way: he really must have known what that guy's asshole looked like.
Yeah, like doggy paddling the poo pit until the guy sits down and you get your moment to friggin' strike. Like,
well, how do you know it's the right one? How do you know it's the right guy?
Yeah. I recognize that rectum.
Yeah, they all look the same to me.
I was going with the Porky's joke, Chris. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I know that ass
That
anyway.
freckle?
Yeah.
Didn't even know him, but damn near rectum.
Rectum, damn near killed him.
Oh, you're talking about a rectum wrecker?
A shit kebab.
Holy crap! Yeah, if you guys haven't been watching the show, I definitely recommend it. Chris and I have been enjoying it. Adam's been enjoying it.
I'm gonna look into it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's solid. Like I said, there's some really brutal stuff that happens. Kind of like out of nowhere on a couple of the episodes. So looking forward to seeing what happens. Something tells me Crimson Sky is still going to happen in a big way. I'm curious to see how they're going to do this because they're still short on men, and there's now his half brother is. He's going to be going after him. I mean, I don't think he's going to be waiting for anything
after that, man. I'm sorry.
What?
Some shit.
History is repeating itself, though, Vinny.
What's that?
They were short on men. We're short on men now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were going to go use some hooers, though, so I think we need to do the same.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many simps out there. You're right. That's the best way of going at it.
Again, when we were doing the research for the Assassin's Creed game there, the Chiyomi Mochizuki, who is like the madam, basically that old lady. Yeah, I can do that. She ended up like that whole group became one of the most devastating weapons that they had during those Warring States period. Was it Sengoku Jidai or whatever? Yeah. But like. That's when you start seeing something called kunoichi, which is the female ninja, where they look like a pretty geisha, looks like a little whore, and the next thing you know, I don't know what happened. He's just dead with a chopstick through his eyeball.
Well, there was one of them. What, on the third episode?
Yeah, that's where I'm wondering if because they said that sect of assassins were like, they were like super scary and badass, like their legend preceded them. And I wonder if that old lady is you know what I mean? Like, I don't think we know the full story of her just yet.
Oh, definitely.
She's hiding something.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. Yeah, because that one before Toranaga, got her with a lethal blow, she was taking out a number of people. It wasn't just one or two people. Like, bodies were dropping as she was making her path.
Yeah, when she was going for the British guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, she thought
it was Toranaga. Remember?
Yep.
He gave his room up to the British guy.
Yep.
So, it's cool. I've been enjoying what they're doing here. Because she was supposed to go for the British dude, and Toranaga was in the place, and she wasn't expecting it. He took out his blade and he got her in the throat.
But like all those badass samurai that dropped, like that was like they pull out a sword, she's already got him like stabbed through the throat with her little knife.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's crazy stuff for sure.
I'm just glad that you kind of verified what I thought was happening, because like I wasn't 100% sure with the whole with the hua, and I'm just like, is she? Because when they were talking, like, hey, we should, kind of like team up. I can help you in this situation. Why are you going to quit? Like you were saying, Chris, how are you just going to give up? And then all that happened, and it ends. Son of a bitch, it just ended like that. I'm like, you dirty bastards. Like, I want more. I want more now.
I was laughing. The credits are rolling, and all you hear is the rain on the little shallow waterfall or whatever. And I'm just like, that dude, like, the brother there must have been like in hysterics. Like,
oh my god!
Seriously?
Yeah. Well, it was good too. I was
that gargling.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that twitching and gargling.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand Tornaga's son, and that shit that he was growing on his face too. Like he just I was fine with that kid going the way he went.
I'm sold. You had me at gargling and got her in the throat. I'm
Slash, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I dropped you a link too if you do want to pop in. Yeah, because we're going to be talking about the Diddy stuff in
Brutal, we can always schedule a watch party, bro. There's only, what was that, the 6th or 7th episode we just watched?
That was 7.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
just
okay,
looking.
7,
I was just looking up on my phone where to watch it for free and shit. It says it's
Hulu.
on.
FX.
I gotta find out.
yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I got Hulu
I'm
Plus
looking
because
into
of this.
I've
If-
seen
if-
Dark.
I
I've
wanna
seen
support
Darksided. I've seen Darksided brought up. He's like the OG Viking series was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was a fun series, but
it
it was absolute bullshit as far as historical accuracy.
Oh,
Like,
God, yeah. The
Rollo.
Ivar the
Rollo and
Boneless.
Ragnar,
Yeah.
totally different time periods.
yeah,
Yep.
because he winds up taking over Normandy because of King Philip.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'll tell you,
Well,
that
yeah.
was awesome when they thought they took Ragnar out and he comes in the church. In the
Yeah.
coffin. That was, dude. I want to watch that again. Yeah.
Well, don't watch what they continued on Netflix though.
No. I'll just finish the
No.
OG series and that's it. Yeah, I got no desire to see what Netflix did.
I'm really surprised though that we haven't seen any breakout like any of the actors in that show like blowing up, because like the chick who played Lagertha there, freaking smoke show dude. Like, why isn't she in more stuff?
Oh yeah, Lagatha or Ragnar's wife. Yeah, well, she started to pop up. She was in a couple of things. She made a couple of appearances on TV shows and stuff. She's an award-winning freaking martial artist.
Yeah, she's freaking badass, dude.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. She was in that piece of shit movie, the Stephen King's Tower.
The
with Idris
gunslinger.
Elba, whatever. Yeah. And I thought her role was going to be bigger. She just plays the mom to the kid. I'm like, are you kidding me? You wasted her. And then she actually had a bit of a sex scandal that came out. One of the iCloud leaks or something. But again, this is what they do, right? They hurt the people who don't comply, because that's what that shit was. That's the majority of those so-called quote-unquote iCloud leaks. It was to hurt certain people's reputations. That's what that shit was for. But
that sucks.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. She could act and she could kick ass. And very believable. You know, I know she's won competitions and stuff. Even with weaponry, like she knows what she's doing, and like Hollywood's not using her. Like these people are morons, absolutely retarded. So we're gonna get Marinus. Yeah, I hope you have a great night, buddy.
Have a good one, man.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Let me grab the link for Rumble. Copy, because YouTube does not like when we talk about certain things. So.
YouTube doesn't like much of anything. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they don't, because they're like China. Yeah, asshole. So here's the link. Here's the link for Rumble, folks. Please head on over there. I know we got Decepticon. He's hanging out over on the Rumble side. We got a good number of people over on Twitter as well. I thank you guys. You got about 41 over on Twitter. So we're staying on those two. We're just going to be removing YouTube now. Because I don't know why, but YouTube they're not fans of any smaller channels. We're going to get into that.
Sayonara, Yitas.
Right. So you heard it. So I'm going to remove YouTube now.